I got to start with this. Speaking of that, I'm watching over the weekend. I watched last night all the available episodes of The Winning Time. It's on HBO. It's about the Jeff Pearlman book. It is about when Jerry Buss bought the Lakers. And now Jeannie Buss owns the Lakers, his daughter, and she's in there. The casting director did an amazing job. Adam McKay, the director, did a great job. It's wildly entertaining. It's full of conflict. And it shows, once again, how hard it is to run a great American business. It's really, really hard. And it was very combative. But one of the things, as you watch it, one of the things I really appreciated about the late Jerry Buss, he was such an innovator and such a risk taker. The Laker girls were considered sort of, too sexualized, and the Forum Club was too elitist, and they put actors up front. I mean, he was broke when he started running this franchise and buying this franchise. It was just fantastic. And the owners, execs, and the rosters, I read the headline for the Lakers this morning, LeBron hurt again, Lakers probably don't make the playoffs. It's time for bold and innovative again. When you watch Winning Time, it's not just about Jerry West's temper, which is, being portrayed a little over the top. It's not just about Magic Johnson. It's about risks and how hard it is to be great, and you've got to go for it in life. And I don't see a way out for these Lakers without doing something like that. Last night, another ex-Laker, Brandon Ingram, torched the Lakers, who, by the way, were on 3 days rest. Young beats old, and this is the oldest roster easily in the NBA. I mean, Melo, Dwight Howard, Westbrook, give me a break. It sounds like an all-star team 9 years ago. The Showtime Lakers were bold and aggressive and innovators, and all I see with the Lakers is looking in the rearview mirror. They are paralyzed by the past. The president is Kobe's agent. The executives, ex-Lakers. Listen, they may be capable. I'm not trying to pick on people. But when Jerry Buss bought this team, they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he went and drafted Magic Johnson. And you know what Magic Johnson did? He challenged Kareem, who could be stoic, brittle, and difficult. And they challenged Kareem. Jack McKinney was hired, challenged Kareem. Magic Johnson, challenged Kareem. Anybody here going to challenge LeBron? Or are they run now by LeBron and Clutch Sports? This franchise needs bold and unique and the windshield and less of what I've seen for years. The headline again today is LeBron is great, but he's hurt. Lakers are not going to make the playoffs. This will be, seventh time in 9 years? This franchise was dead when Jerry Buss bought it, and innovations saved it. It feels almost dead now. Who's going to save it now? Listen, LeBron's still great when he's available, but back-to-back nights, year 19 in, are unrealistic. Last night, once again, lots of points, and he's hurt again. By the way, highly recommend watching Winning Time on HBO. Again, it's like a business movie with a great sense of humor. How hard it is, how much combativeness it takes to really form something and create something. And it was that innovation, that craziness that made the Lakers into the biggest brand, surpassing the Celtics. When he bought it, Red Auerbach and the Celtics owned the NBA, and they have surpassed them. They're more interesting. They've been more compelling, and a big part of that is Magic Johnson. And Jerry Buss deserves a ton of credit, from coaching to players, to showgirls, to the Forum Club, to putting celebrities all over the building. It's just fantastic watch. It's Hollywood. I mean, it is what it is. You watched the Oscars last night. It is what it is. But they need another dose of it, is my point. Let's shift to this. For years and years, as a sportscaster, people always tell me they love underdogs. And when I first went on the air at the other place, I said my first couple of days on the air, I don't love underdogs. Because the truth is, you don't love underdogs, because I see the television ratings. And the ratings are bigger when Coach K is on the air and when the Yankees are on the air. So quit telling me you're rooting for the Tampa Bay Rays and St. Peter's, because the ratings shrink when they're on. And that Cinderella's a myth. Put Boise State in a bowl game, the ratings go down. Put Ohio State in a bowl game, the ratings go up. So our Final Four is going to be Blue Bloods. That's what I like to watch. We all know the backstory. Duke and Carolina and Kansas and Villanova. Feel bad for Villanova. They're falling apart. But I love a good ending to a great story. And this is Mike Krzyzewski's last year. And there are 4 teams left, and Duke is the most talented with the most legendary coach. Nova, again, has now 2 players injured. Carolina's played well lately, but they are an 8 seed. Duke has 4 projected first-round picks. They're favored to win, and they will. And here come the Looney Tune fringe. Here come the conspiracy theorists to say it's rigged. No, if St. Peter's won, that would be rigged. That would be too close to Hoosiers. St. Peter's has no business winning this tournament. The last 5 winners have all been number 1 seeds. We always criticize the NCAA selection committee, and they're overwhelmingly right. If anybody wins this of the 4 teams, anybody but North Carolina wins it, it will be the 7th straight year a number 1 or a number 2 seed wins it, because the committee knows what they're doing, despite the fact that fans and media are absolutely sure they don't. And Coach K is going to win this thing again. That is my guess. Villanova's just run out of good players, and Carolina's playing well, but they're not as good and not as talented. I watched Kansas play a couple of times this year. I think that's the 2nd most talented team in the Final Four, but I don't think they're Duke. So, this is going to be a great ending, and what social media has done, it has given a voice to wackos, right? It used to be letter to the editor is about the only time you heard the wacko, and then even the sports editor or the news editor could edit some of those out. Now everybody's got a voice. And there's a lot of wackos and a lot of conspiracy theorists and a lot of people seeking validation with no talent. That's what social media has created. So you got to close your eyes to it, turn your phone off, not read your mentions, because it's crazy time. So Duke is going to probably win it, and everybody is going to say it's rigged, it's unbelievable. No, it's rigged, arguably, if they don't. The best coach ever, 4 first-round picks. The other starter's probably a second-round pick, and they've got more tournament wins than anybody in the last 3 decades. I'm going to go with Duke's going to win it, and it's going to be glorious. Sorry, I root for great. I root for great actors. I root for great teams. I root for great coaches. I root for great franchises. I root for great history. I'm sorry I wasn't rooting for St. Peter's. It was a cute story. It was cute. It wasn't that interesting. It was cute. Congrats to Duke and Coach K. And, for the record, people often say, why don't you talk a lot of college basketball? And I've said it's become a 3-week event. There's nothing wrong with that. Mardi Gras is a great event. Doesn't make New Orleans my favorite city, but it is a great event. Events are important. The World Cup, it'll be on Fox November 18th. I don't talk a lot of soccer, but I will be mesmerized by it for 3 weeks. I don't talk a lot of college basketball, but I am mesmerized for it for 3 weeks. Some things, they're on the daily treadmill. The NFL. If I was a sportscaster in Canada, I'd talk hockey 75% of the time. If I was a sportscaster in London with the name Colin, my mom was British, probably should be, I talk English Premier League 75% of the time. In this country, I talk NFL about 75% of the time. But this is a great event for 3 weeks. I'm totally mesmerized. Duke's going to win it, and it's okay. It's not rigged. I swear to you it's not. St. Peter's winning is rigged. That's when Hollywood, I'll combine the two, Hollywood would be involved if St. Peter's won. Sports is involved if Duke wins. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.